Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Spokane City Council briefing session, and we're also going to hold a legislative session as well today. We're going to mix our agenda topics a little bit for convenience of participants, but we'll start with the roll call. Present.
Member Burke.
Here.
Councilmember Cathcart.
Present.
Councilmember Kinnear.
Present.
Councilmember Mumm.
Here.
Councilmember Stratton.
Here.
Councilmember Wilkerson.
Present.
Let the record reflect that all council members are present.
All right, and before we go to the advanced agenda, we have two proclamations, and I thought I would do those since we have a guest for one of those. So we'll start out with Navy Week, and Councilmember Cathcart is going to read that.
Yeah, thank you. City of Spokane Proclamation. Whereas the United States Navy protects and defends America on the world's ocean, is ready to defend America at all times, and is deployed around the world around the clock. And whereas the state of Washington is home for more than 8,092 active duty enlisted sailors and naval officers, more than 2,210 Navy reservists, and more than 26,176 active duty and reserve retirees. And the city of Spokane is honored to have the presence of the United States Navy in our community at the Navy Operations Support Center. And whereas the Spokane Virtual Navy Week hosts special events and programs to increase the community's knowledge and understanding of their Navy and its global mission, and includes publicly available events on social media. Now, therefore, I, Nadine Woodward, Mayor of the City of Spokane, on behalf of the citizens of Spokane, do hereby proclaim May 10th through the 16th, 2021 as Navy Week in Spokane, and urge the citizens of Spokane to join in showing appreciation to our Navy by observing this week. And we have somebody on the line to accept the proclamation?
I don't think we do. We don't, but thank you for reading it, and thanks to all the people connected to Spokane currently serving, or who have served, or who have family members who have served. Next is Councilmember Wilkerson is going to read a proclamation in favor of Asian American and Pacific Islanders. And we do have Pam Prager to receive that and say a few words after Councilmember Wilkerson.
Thank you. City of Spokane Proclamation. Whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a celebration of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, AAPI, in the United States takes place annually during May, the month chosen in honor of the immigration of the first Japanese to the United States on May 7th, 1843, and to mark the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10th, 1869, where a majority of the workers who laid the tracks were Chinese and Japanese immigrants. Whereas AAPI have a long and rich history in the Spokane community, helping to cultivate and advance the fields of the arts, humanities, business, education, information technology, law, public safety, science, sports, and the environment, while bringing new ideas and economic opportunity, and have been serving on the front lines of COVID pandemic as healthcare providers, first responders, teachers, and other essential workers. And whereas with increasing rates of anti-Asian harassment and violence, it is more important than ever that we recognize the tradition of leadership, resilience, and courage shown by the AAPI communities, and recommit to denouncing, condemning, and preventing acts of violence. Now, therefore, I, Nadine Woodward, Mayor of the City of Spokane, on behalf of the citizens of Spokane, do hereby proclaim May 2021 as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I welcome Pam Prager to speak.
Okay, do I need to do anything special?
Nope. Welcome, Pam.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Bessie Wilkerson. And I just have to shout out to Mike Ormsby, because I knew him when he was a young high school kid.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. And I hope that you'll thank Mayor Woodward and Council President Beggs and City Council members and the rest of you on this, and for this proclamation and important recognition of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who have chosen this city of Spokane, Washington as a place to live, give, and share in making it a wonderful community for all. I'm a third-generation Japanese American, a Sansei, and there are many other generations after me. And I've lived in Spokane for over 50 years, and I'm honored and humbled, really, to be able to accept this proclamation on behalf of the many Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who call Spokane home. As the proclamation stated, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders can trace their ancestry back to many different homelands. And while some know their families arrived in the United States, as mine did back in the 19th century, the 1800s, many others are newer arrivals who, like so many, have come here for an improved quality of life. And most of us are immigrants or descendants of immigrants, except maybe Native Hawaiians. And we look forward to continuing to be important contributors for all of Spokane's peoples. So again, thank you for this important proclamation in May 2021 as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And we are greatly appreciative of this recognition. And thank you all for your what you do for our city, too, and its people. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Pam, for sharing with us and for all that you do. And now let's turn to our advance agenda for May 17th. Mr. Ormsby.
Thank you, Council President and members of the Council. On the consent agenda for next Monday's meeting, under reports, contracts, and claims, first is a proposed contract amendment extension with AMR, and Mike Lopez from the Spokane Fire Department is here to brief this item.
Good afternoon, Council President Beggs, members of the City Council. Before you today is a 4-year contract extension for ambulance services. If you recall, last year the Council approved a 1-year extension because of the fact that we were about 2 months into the COVID-19 pandemic, and we really needed to determine what the impacts of that of the pandemic would be. The contract itself that was let in 2015 has a provision for a 5-year renewal, and this renewal before you today just finishes up that 5-year renewal with American Medical Response. Yes, so that's the contract extension, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Seeing no questions, we'll move to the second item on the consent agenda, and it's a proposed contract renewal to perform public works janitorial work. And Jay Atwood, one of the deputy chiefs in the fire department, is here to present this item.
Good afternoon, Council. This is for a janitorial contract with Environment Control of Spokane to cover or provide janitorial services for 5 of our fire department's facilities that include the admin offices at Station 1, the Combined Communications Building, fire department training and admin area, and the fire department training field house and maintenance facility. Excuse me. This contract goes from June 1 of 2021 through May 31st of 2022 in the amount of, sorry, I had that right in front of me there a second ago, just a hair over $52,000.
Any questions for Jay?
I just want to confirm the amount. I'm showing 50,880.
That's probably right. I know there's another contract that I'm going to brief, and I apologize. I probably have the two numbers mixed up.
Any other questions? Okay, proposed item number 3 on the consent agenda for next week is the updated interlocal agreement with SRTC. And I know Mike Piccolo has briefed council members on this previously, and now we're prepared to present the final one. Mike.
Yes, this item was briefed to the PIES committee about 2 weeks ago. And you also received, or should have received, a cover letter from Kevin Walsh, the interim executive director, laying out the changes. This is primarily brought about through work with the board members and the attorneys for the various agencies that was motivated from the change of state law to bring voting positions onto the board for the tribal agencies that are within the boundaries. And there are 2 tribal agencies, Kalispell and Spokane tribes. Are there any further questions I can answer?
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
The next item is a proposed contract for architectural services for the CCC building. And Jay, I presume that you're here to brief this for Chief Schaefer.
That's correct. Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon, Council. This is for a contract with to provide architectural and engineering services for the CCB roof. Back in 2020, we were preparing to do a roof replacement on the entire building, and then discovered after looking at it a little bit closer that it wasn't going to be a simple membrane overlay like we originally thought. And since have discovered we're going to have to pull portions of that roof up, redo it, and add some insulation in the process. So we're asking for contract approval for Kortner Architects to follow through with this A&E contract to provide the scope of work and oversee that process for replacing the roof in the amount of $52,800.
And this is a question probably for Mr. Ormsby, but can you remind us how we're going to be sharing the costs for both this just engineering architectural services, but the actual roof replacement, which I assume will be bigger?
Well, the roof replacement, Council President, we have not resolved the large capital items. That's an issue that we'll be discussing when we hopefully begin putting together the successor ILA for lease agreement this summer. For the architectural expenses, that is defined as a minor project. So approximately 72% of that cost will be paid for by Shrek, and the other 28% will be paid by the city.
Thank you.
Next, we move to the 2 placeholders on the agenda. The first is for the report of the mayor on pending claims and payments. And the second placeholder is for city council meeting minutes. And those blanks will be completed prior to the meeting next week. And then we move to the legislative agenda. And the first is a special budget ordinance regarding the CCB. And I think, Chief Atwood, you're up again.
Sorry about that, technical difficulty. Yes, so this is the SBO request attached to that architectural and engineering request to transfer funds so that we can be able to cover that contract.
And seeing no questions, I'll move then to the Fleet Replacement Fund. And David Payne from Fleet, instead of Major McNabb, is here to brief this item. David?
Mr. Ormsby, I actually think Major Olson was going to brief that.
Oh, okay. I'd gotten an email saying you were, so sorry about that. So Major Olson from PD will be here to brief this item.
All right. Good afternoon, Council President, Council members. This is Eric Olson. Thanks for the time. I am presenting hopefully a short SBO. We are requesting to add $108,960 in fleet replacement funds to be used to help us with commissioning costs of our vehicles. This money is actually coming from the sale of vehicles that have been taken out of commission. It gets put into a special account over at Fleet. They manage that account and has built up to the point where it's now usable for us. We anticipate the commissioning costs to be fairly steep on some of our newer vehicles. The two hybrids cost us about 45% more than the typical K8s. And as we continue to outfit those cars into Teslas, we are anticipating some pretty steep costs coming our way for commissioning. Any questions?
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks.
Next, we move to resolutions and final reading ordinances. And the first relates to the parking codes, and the council's been briefed on this a number of times in the past, but Chris Becker is with us today if any council members have any questions or issues regarding the proposed changes to the parking codes. Okay. Not seeing any, then I'll move to special considerations, and there's two scheduled hearings, and I see that Eldon Brown is with us. So one relates to the vacation of the Scenic Boulevard between 27th and 29th, and the other is the first reading ordinance on that same project. Eldon, anything to present?
Yeah, good afternoon, Council. I'll pull up the map for that one. Is that shared with anybody yet?
No, can't see it yet, Eldon.
Let me try it again here. See if we can get it shared here yet. Still not pulling it up. There we go. Okay, this is the vacation of Scenic Boulevard from 27th to 29th. This basically is all owned by one property, all those adjacent parcels. On it, we have no city utilities in there or any private utilities either. So we're looking to actually vacate it for the applicant who wants to build just one house on all these parcels. We do have two of these little 10-foot side public right-of-ways that go to the trolley trail. And on those are really inaccessible at this point in time. And so our hope is as we develop Scenic Boulevard further to the north, up there as you go north of 27th, that we actually reestablish some different access points to the trolley trail up there. So right now we're seeing the ones that are actually south of 27th are really not usable. So anyway, the applicant wants to vacate that right away. It would be an at-cost vacation, and that's tallied to be about $14,000 on there. We would request that the applicant actually aggregate all the parcels prior to the final reading of the vacation. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this if you have any. Thanks.
Not seeing any questions. That would be the final proposed City Council advanced agenda for next Monday.
All right, is there a motion to approve the advanced agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay? Abstentions? All right, advanced agenda is approved. Brings us to today's agenda, and why don't we start with the consent agenda?
Reports, contracts, and claims. Item number 1 is deferred to the May 24th agenda. Item number 2, 2-year value blanket with Hitachi Zosen and Evova USA LLC, Norcross, Georgia, for the purchase of feeder and grate parts at the Waste Energy Facility from July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2023, not to exceed $600,000 plus tax. Number 3, value blanket renewals with Specialty Asphalt for the Street Department utilizing state contract number 01211 for SA Premier Crack Sealant, not to exceed $125,000. B, Nouveau Gap, not to exceed $80,000. Number 4, contract with Frank Gurney Incorporated, Spokane Valley, Washington, for needed guardrail repair services, not to exceed $60,000. Number 5, amendment to memorandum of understanding with James E. Chase Youth Commission and Chase Youth Foundation to guarantee $45,000 in funds through 2024 and prevent need to present an annual allocation of funds to council for approval in 2022, 2023, and 2024, $45,000 annually. Number 6, 6-month contract extension with Duncan Parking Technologies Incorporated, a subsidiary of Civic Smart Incorporated, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for support and services for DPT Duncan Liberty meters for parking services, $22,176. Number 7, contract with CompuNet Incorporated, Grangeville, Idaho, for purchase of Cisco wireless access points hardware and 3 years required Cisco licensing utilizing Washington number 05819 NASPO contract AR 3277104 $104,991.06, including tax, and is fully covered by replacement funds. Number 8, report of the mayor of pending aid claims and payments of previously approved obligations, including those of Parks and Library through April 30, 2021, total $5,403,893.48 with Parks and Library claims approved by the respective boards. Warrants excluding Parks and Library total $3,148,314.92. B, payroll claims of previously approved obligations through May 1, 2021, $17,140,202.50. Number 9, City Council meeting minutes for April 29, 2021.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, nay? Any abstentions? All right, the consent agenda is approved. We do have several appointments.
Okay. Appointment of Jesse Bank and Tim Williams to serve on the Plan Commission to begin on May 12, 2021 and expire on December 31, 2024. And reappointment of Kimberly Lawrence, Kelly Cruz, Amanda Richardson, Vicki Munch, Alan Chapman, Michael Flagger, Fran Popular to a 3-year term on the West Quadrant TIF Project Advisory Committee to serve from April 10, 2021 to April 9, 2024.
All right, thank you. All those in favor of those 9 appointments indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Any abstentions? All right, welcome to your service, and we really appreciate it. Again, anyone who's interested in serving on one of the many boards and commissions for the city, you can go to our webpage that has them and contact the mayor's office if you think you would like to apply. That brings us to our legislative agenda, which is very brief today, which is why we moved it to the 3:30 agenda. So if you want to go to the ordinance.
Final reading ordinance C 36045 relating to reserve accounts, closing certain internal financial funds, and repealing Spokane Municipal Code Section 7.08.109 and 7.08.115.
All right, this is some technical cleanup matter in our funds. Any discussion? All right, hearing and seeing none, I'll have a roll call. Councilmember Mumm.
Aye.
Councilmember Stratton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kinnear.
Aye.
Council President Sinai. Councilmember Burke.
Aye.
Councilmember Cathcart.
Aye.
Councilmember Wilkerson.
Aye.
All right, that passes 7-0. That gets us to one first reading ordinance.
Ordinance C 36047, relating to parking municipal codes, amending Spokane Municipal Code sections 8.02.065, 8.02.083, 12.06a.040, 16a.61.550, .564, .567, .570, .5703, .787, adopting new chapter Spokane Municipal Code 16a.05, 16a.06 and 16a.07, and a new section 16a.04.100 to chapter 16a.04 of the Spokane Municipal Code, and repealing Spokane Municipal Code 16a.04.010, .020, .030, .040, .050, .055, .060, .070, .080, .381, .560, .561, .552, 562, excuse me, .563, .565, .566, .5701, .5702, .5704, .5705, .5706, .5707, .5708, .575, .577, .581, .582, .583, .589, .590, .5902, .5903, .5904, .5906, .5908, .5910, .5914, .5916, .5918, .5921, .5922, .5924, .790, and setting an effective date. Further action is deferred on the first reading ordinance.
All right. And that's just a warm-up for next week. Thank you. That brings us to the end of our business. Today, we'll be back at study session at 11 a.m. and back with our regular committee meeting at 1:15 next Monday, briefing, and a regular legislative session next week. So with that, we're adjourned. Please take care, and if you can, take care of someone else.